Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. I thought I'm sitting here piddling with my squirrel journal, and I thought, hurry, quick, while you have some motivation in your body, turn on the recorder and record. So, first of all, let me show you what I've been doing, and then we'll continue doing what I'm doing, right? So, first of all, I made my squirrel journal cover. I should have taken you along with me, but sometimes these things take several days, and you just do one item each day, and then you kind of fit it all together. So what I did was I started with this page. This was a cover of a book, and it had these squirrels on the bottom. So I thought, oh, that would make a cute cover of my squirrel book. So I ripped this off the book, and then what did I do then? I took a file folder for the back, and I had this cool material that somebody was painting on, and it was in a box of Goodwill or estate sale clean out stuff. I have a piece of tape here falling off of my rigged up mic stand. So I made that into the back. I used like cereal box cardboard for the spine. Okay, and I put material over them so that it would hold them all together. I used this piece of, what do you call this? Cansaw quilting or something. What do you call that? I call it slow stitching, but it's got an actual word where they kind of make it quilted looking. An old blanket that I had, and I put a couple pieces of trim on them to doll them up. I had this big picture. You probably can't see it, but there's a squirrel in this great big shiny picture. So I put it on the inside, and then I covered it. My file folder, I actually folded up instead of cutting it off. And where I folded it up, I just used it as a pocket. So this whole thing is a file folder, but I folded it short so that it could be a pocket. And of course, in order to put the trim on, I had this piece of trim that was on a tablecloth, and I had cut it a little bit, so if I ever needed to sew it on anything, I'd have room to sew it. But I just glued that all around, left the trim because I liked it, sewed that on so that you could see it from the outside in. Had this cute little squirrel in an old book, a children's book, and I just glued it on a piece of material which I had sewn onto a piece of a old rotten doily that I ripped the center out of, or it could have been a tablecloth, who knows. And there is my cover. Okay, so today I have a few pages done, and I have run out of pictures of squirrels. Here's a page that has squirrels that are eating in the snow with the peacocks. So I just left that the way it was. Over here I have a picture out of a children's book. This is a Janet Nash inspired envelope from probably a year ago. And I just glued the whole envelope down and to use it for a pocket. Children's book. This one's not done yet. It's the other side of that children's book, not done. She reminds me of Helen so much. So this is a page I did called Tree Play, and just has an adorable squirrel full. This reminds me of my wild honeysuckle bush out here that the squirrels love to hang out in and strip the bark off of it. A little playing card that goes over here in this pocket, and this used to be a greeting card, and I just wrote some stuff on the back. I journaled on the back. So that's that one. And here's a sleepy squirrel in the tree of this children's book page. And this is probably not done with this one, but I love the way she was holding her little squirrel, and I just put her on a background, and who knows, something else might go on that later. I don't know. This is an Indian holding his squirrel in his hand, and there's a turtle on the rock behind him, which was exciting. And I loved this image of these two girls pretending in the yard. One's in the tree, one's over here talking to the turtles in the flower bed, and there's a squirrel out on the branch. So I like that. And then today I've just started putting some more signatures together since I ran out of pictures of squirrels. Here's a page that I put squirrel and pine nuts on it. It's a belly band. Here's one that I just put some painty papers behind a picture from a kid's book. Here's a little pocket with a couple tags. And just more pages and a signature. Here's another page for another signature we can do. I took this is not dry yet, and I just took a doily, a square doily placemat, glued an envelope on it, folded the envelope over so it can be a flippy flap later, and I can use the envelope to put some tags in. And I just put material down to strengthen where it's going to fold and go into the signature. And it's drying, so I'm going to set it aside. And this is another one with an envelope that's drying. This is an envelope that I had coffee dyed. Glued, took some, this is just a page, and I took some coffee filters and glued them down to make the center part where it'll go through the spine. These are coffee filters over here and some coffee. And that's still drying. And then I'm just tearing out pages, you know, and building some more pages to glue my pictures to once I find some more squirrel pictures. There's a little pocket in this one. Oop, gotta watch my coffee. So these will be ready to go when I get my squirrel pictures. That's 2 signatures I have done. And that's just going to go on the back burner. I've still got to make one more signature. And that's kind of what I'm working on right now. But I folded this piece of paper and glued it together to turn it into a signature. And I kind of started accidentally decorating it. So I thought, turn it on while you've got some mojo and let them decorate with you. So here we go. Let's just start. I do have to tell you about this happy accident. See this here? It is very fragile. I don't know who taught me how to do that. It may have been Janet. I don't know. These are little layers of material that I just went around with some watercolor, and then I put this brad in through some magazine paper that I just cut the snips out of. And it's been laying around. I push it around. I thought, you need to do something with that before it gets tore up. So it was laying over here. And I tore this picture out of one of the kids' books because I thought it was cute, but it was not a squirrel. So I thought, well, I'll use that for something. And I threw it down, and look. Don't they look good together? So I'm going to put those somewhere, maybe in my turtle journal, because frogs go good with turtles. That's what I'll do. I just thought these needed to be together in whatever I do with them. So I'm going to put those in my turtle journal. Okay. So, oh man, you guys, I have a dog with gas today. And of course she's got to be wherever I'm at. and she's just blowing me out. And I want to go turn on my diffuser, but I've heard lately that the oils are damaging to a dog and a cat. So, oh, here's another. Oh no, that's the same one. It's just drying. So I'm trying not to diffuse. Normally I have a diffuser going every single day of my life. But now I feel nervous and anxious when I turn it on because I'm afraid I'm hurting the animals. Anyway, I have to put up with the gas for now. Okay, so I started putting things on here just to get some background on, so that when I do get squirrel pictures, I can just put a focal on and it's pretty much done. Yeah, I'm just putting background pictures on. Now, I have this whole stack here that sits in my bathroom that I go through when I'm in the bathroom. I know more information than what you want to know. I'm looking at magazines and I'm tearing pictures out that I like. So this is one Daphne's diary that I've torn all to shreds. And I thought, you know what? Just sit that beside you, and as you're making backgrounds, use that stuff and get rid of it. Otherwise, it just sits and I never even use it. I guess I just enjoy pulling magazines apart. I love taking magazines apart and never using them, basically, is what I enjoy. I want to find something to use so that I'm not getting glue everywhere. What can I use? Let's use one of these papers right here. I end up with a sticky mess. I'll do that. We'll just make that a sticky mess, and when that dries, we can use it for something else. I'm going to scoot this over in case I decide I want to put material on that spine. A lot of times I like to put material on my spine and then sew up it just for pretties, just to make it look shabby. So I'm going to do that. So how have you guys been doing? I am having a wonderful day today. I have had actually a wonderful day the past 4 days. I have felt really good. So, you got to take advantage of it when you have them. But thank God I've been feeling good, because husband had oral surgery, and I don't know how y'all's husbands are, but mine is very needy when he is sick or has had a procedure. The whole world has to shut down to take care of hubby. So he had oral surgery done on his mouth to fix the botched up job that the guy did that gave him his dentures, that pulled his teeth for his dentures. If this company, Affordable Dentures, is a chain place, do not go to it. Please, I am begging you, do not go to Affordable Dentures. Yeah, my husband, it'll be 2 years in January, and he's yet to get his teeth to fit correctly. Well, we have to have a whole new pair made. And he had to have oral surgery because, I'm going to draw you a picture. Like, this is his upper, mouth. Like, this is his upper area. On each side, they left big flaps of skin hanging in the back that kept his dentures from suctioning in. And they left an entire root up here going into his sinus. and they left little shards of tooth or bone or something, little splinters here and there and yonder. This, Terry's been telling them from day one, something's wrong up here. I have a bump that hurts. It rubs on my denture. And they're like, you just put some more glue on it, cushion it, la, la, la. You know, no, I want to talk to the dentist. No, he's in surgery. They never, ever let you talk to the dentist after he pulls your teeth. That's it. Then you deal with the little gals that can't hardly speak English and have come off the street and learned from the last person how to do stuff. They don't have to go through any school or training to manipulate, grind, and work on your teeth. They don't have to know anything. They just come in off the street and start working. So he had to go to an oral surgeon and have these removed. This all got removed, and they just scraped it clear around flat on both sides. So it's all flat, so there's nothing there to put stitches in. It just looks like one great big red rashed canker sore is what it looks like right now. And then they went up 3 incisions here, stitches, stitches, and stitches, where they had to take all that out. So, and then he had to put his teeth right back in to keep the swelling down. So he's not been a happy camper. So I've been babying him, making milkshakes, yada yada, this, that, and the other. And I think he's going to pull through. He will survive. So that's what's been going on around here. I think I like this. I think I like that. So let's put that in. So yeah, I've been making him milkshakes with protein powder in them. We've been carnivore. We've been eating nothing but meat, eggs, and cheese for a year now. And so he felt terrible letting me make him milkshakes and stuff. But I said, you have to. There's nothing else we can do. I mean, you know. I did get the carb control ice cream, and I used heavy cream instead of milk, and it said no sugar added. You know how that goes. Who knows? But, and I put protein powder in it. So hopefully we didn't do too much damage to that way of eating. And I made him a cheesecake filling. I really like just that whole page, but I made him a cheesecake filling, just the filling, and it was sugar-free, and it had a lot of eggs in it, so that was good for him. And so he's been eating that. I made him a sugar-free pudding, and he's been eating that. And we did cheat, and I made him some mashed potatoes because he said, I want food. I want something besides dessert, you know. I want something that tastes like real food. So I did make him, I baked a potato and mashed that up loaded it up with some nice melty cheese and butter. So that was good for him. I know a lot of you who don't eat like this are going, no, it's not good for him. Yeah, for the carnivore way of life, you got to put that cheese and butter on there to cancel out the carbs in the potatoes. So, because, you know, he hasn't had over 20 grams of carbs in the past year. So, I've got to try to cancel out those carbs when I can. Anyway, now that's over too far. That puts the pot in the center, and I don't like that. So I'm going to scoot it over a bit. Oh dear. I'm just talking and not thinking is what I'm doing. Yeah, I got to leave it now. I'm just going to scoot this over so it's more over here to the side. I like the pink, so I'm going to attempt to tear some of this off so we can see the pink in there. just like that. Let's not waste this. Let's go ahead and put this up here. I can't think I wore some of my glue off, moving it and pulling it and all that. Okay, so that is pretty good. What's this here? These are stickers. I want to make sure, well, maybe instead of putting a piece of material over here, I could just put one of these stickers going down the side. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the hummingbird one because these are very tropical, and I don't know that there's squirrels. I don't know if there's squirrels in tropical areas. Dear me. Dear, dear me. And they are really sticky stickers. But we did it. There we go. Okay, now I want to just put a little bit of color around here. So let's see what we can do to just add some color. Let's use some of this terracotta. What's this called? Burnt orange. Let's use some of that. And let's use some green. Okay, so let's add some green and some burnt orange on there, just to give it some color so that when the squirrel comes in, and I'm using a very watery brush, then that means if the squirrel comes in, it'll have some like nature colors to draw from. You know, color theorist that I am, right? You all know how I am with color, or lack of education on it, and really don't care. So yeah, that's all I want. It's just something to add some color. Smear the rest of this around on our painty paper. And now let's do our green. I want a little more color, water, because I want it to be watered down, and that green is really thick. The weather has been absolutely beautiful here. It's only like 66 this morning, and I've got the air conditioner off. It's been off. I think it's only supposed to get up to like 73 or 74 or 70 something. Low, not enough. Normally our air conditioner is on 74, so I figured it was not enough to get up above what we're usually used to. So I'm just gonna leave the windows open and the air conditioner off today. Got ball games to go to tonight. My granddaughter Peanut plays volleyball tonight in El Dorado, so I'm going to meet husband there. He'll go there straight after work, and I'll meet him. And look at that. We have a background. And it can always be added to. There can be doodles added to it. There can be stickers, there can be pictures, there can be words. Anything can go on that. That just gives me something other than that, right? Let's just see what else we can continue on with our pile here and see what else we can add. Let's see here. There's this one. It's a dark color. I actually wanted to try to make one of these. So if I use it, I don't want to, I'm going to cut this one out and use this one for my sample. Let's just use this as a copycat page. Let's do this on this page. So let's recreate this. Let me stop and get some magazine pages and tissue paper and some paint, and let's recreate this on here for our background. Okay, now let's just get a little bit of background paper to go on there. See this lady here? I'm just going to use this little girl. And I'm not sure what this is. If they drew that on there, well, I'll try it. And here's some, I kind of wanted some writing like she had. I grabbed a piece of pattern paper that does not have writing. Here's some. And we'll use this one here with the arrows. Are there any arrows on this one? No, but let's just use that anyway so we don't have to get too technical here. Let's pull this one off. Okay, here we go. We're going to lay this one over here for our inspiration. Let's start out with some background. I want to tear this off. Look at this magnificent card. Is that not adorable? I want to tear the yummy part off. Use that later. And well, maybe we can use this for a little tag or something if we find a squirrel. So let's tear this girl out. Oh, Amy, you can do it. You can do it. Just tear it out. I hate destroying these adorable vintage things, but you know, at my estate sale, they're just going to throw them away. So there she is. Just can't wait any longer to say. We may be able to use that somewhere down the line, but let's get started with our background. Just pick stuff off the top, Amy, and use it. What is this? It's a very tissuey type carbon from something. And what was this? Another carbon to something. Okay, here we go. I love doing this when you guys are here because I don't think about it. Otherwise, you know, I have trouble tearing these guys up. I really do. Okay, let's get some nice layer of matte medium on here. And I'm pretty much going to cover up this whole page, so I don't care if I get matte medium everywhere. underpants, as Lori Marie Jenkins would call it. I was watching Jerry Bellini the other day. I don't know how many of you watch Recycled Parts for Art. I don't know if she still calls herself that anymore or if she's just Jerry Bellini now. I don't know. But I was watching her. Every once in a while I check in, see what she's up to. And she likes to sew a lot now. She's kind of moved into the sewing. And so she was showing a bunch of stuff she's doing. And, well, she was receiving these circles of material. I guess she's about to do something with the theme of yellow, and everybody was sending a circle of a beautiful yellow pattern material that they had and putting their name and where they're from, and then she was going to use those to create whatever, whatever she's been doing. I don't know. I haven't been watching very often. So I'm watching her show these beautiful circles that she had received. Am I even in line here? Yeah, you can see it. And up pops this name from El Dorado, Kansas. And I'm like, what? That's just like, that's where I'm going to the volleyball game tonight. It's just like 20 minutes away from me. And here's a fellow crafter in El Dorado, Kansas that likes the same person I do. So I, nosy person that I am, not nosy, I don't know what you would call me. I wanted to say hi to her. Like, I don't know, I automatically feel like we're sisters because, she's a fellow art person that likes kind of the same things I do, maybe. So I looked her name up on Facebook, and I messaged her, Messenger, and said, hello from Augusta, Kansas. Just to, told her I was watching Jerry Bellini and saw her name pop up. And she messaged me back. So I thought that was kind of cool that, my husband thinks I'm desperate when I do that. But it's just, there's nobody around here that likes anything I like. So when you see somebody, you want to go, hey, part of my tribe, like Loretta. Speaking of that, Loretta, speaking of being my tribe, if you're still on here, I have not seen you in forever. But when you hear a random honk go by your house, it's me. I always honk when I go by your house. And I thought, she's going to wonder after a while, who are these strange people that keep honking when they go by my house? It's me. It's me, Carol, a.k.a. Loretta. And, of course, I'm in a different vehicle all the time, so it's probably a different honk. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, I'm going to put her. Okay, let's look here. Stop and look. So she's going to be here. And I'm going to try. She's going to be here. And I'm going to try to put a flower around her on this side and this side. And then I'm going to do, I don't know, some strange thing up here with my layering. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I need that paper. I'm going to put quite a layer on here because that's old and it is just soaking that right in, that old card material. So I'm going to put that right there. And of course, you know, my flower will be completely different. I say it's a copycat, but it always turns out completely different. I'll use a different shade, maybe red, like a rose, because I've got red there, or I could use pink, like her dress. I think I'm going to go all out and do red. So I'm going to stop this and dry it, and then I'll be right back. It might take a while. Uh-oh. Oh, you're kidding me. Was I not? I'm stopping. I'm stopping. Okay, you guys. I don't know what I did, and I don't have time to watch it. I don't have fast forward in my gallery, so I can't. Okay, so let me tell you a story. I was videoing. I got up to get some paint. I pushed what I thought was pause. I may not have. I may have videoed my whole trip to get paint. I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. Anyway, I came back and I pushed pause to dry. I videoed all this with you, telling you I'm not very good at this. I used 2 different colors of red, yada, yada, yada. And I went to get my white so we could do some detailing on it, try to make it look like a flower. And it started recording instead of pausing. So I got it backwards somewhere. And so I'm just shut it. I just pushed stop completely, and I've started a new video, and I'll put them together when I figure out what I did. If I did something I shouldn't, then I got to figure out how to cut it. So yeah, I'm kind of mad at myself. So let's do, okay, what I decided I wanted to do is see, these are actually 3 different pictures here. They're actually 3 different things this lady did, and I was just putting them all together. No big deal. We can do our own thing. I was going to try to do this up there, and, you know, it looks like it'd just be simple scratching it out with a little bit of color. I'm not sure I can do that. Should I try it? Should I be... This one here has some slow stitching on it. It's supposed to go like this. She's got some slow stitching down the side, and she went around her little flower with some slow stitching. I'm thinking about putting some slow stitching in one of these. And then just doing some of these up the side here. And then if I ever get a squirrel, like maybe on a branch or something, I'll put it over here. I may have a squirrel. Good grief, we may just be doing the whole page today. Okay, if I put let's just do it. Let's just go. Let's just get some red. Let's do the brighter red. What the heck? Let's just water this down. We just want to get some shading stuck up in there. I probably should have used watercolor just to get I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, bless me. I just want to get some colors in the cracks of that tissue. And just lightly enough that it looks like a little bloom, like this is, a wispy little something or another. Just get some color other places. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to drying. I'm just going to use a Stabilo. What is this? A Derwent Graphic 6H. I think that is not this one. this is... Okay, so I'm just going to just lightly, since it's wet still and I don't care, I'm just going to make this little spud here. Then I'm going to kind of bring it around that way. If it's wet and it smears, that is what a stabilo is supposed to do. It's coming down here with like a, I don't know, I'm seeing a petal of an orchid is what I'm seeing. And this is a great big bloom petal up here. And I have a big maybe a bloom coming over here. Okay, there'll probably be a squirrel over there anyway. Okay. We came, we saw, we attempted. Right? That's all I wanted to do. Now, this has some gold here, there, and yonder. By golly, since we have our gold right here, let's just do it. They used gold leaf. I don't own gold leaf, so let me make sure you're in frame. Yes. This is a little dark right here, so maybe I can tone that down with some gold. Okay, now, let's move over to that one. Let's try to, I don't know what they used, do you think, for that white? Probably a marker or a white. I'm going to look for like a white, do they make white pastels? I don't even know. These watercolor crayons, do they have a white? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can't do some. Why, yes, we can. Trying to pull some of these in to make them look like an actual petal. Okay. Let's come over here and see if we can't make some. I'm tearing my... Okay, now let's see if we can't find something black. This one has some black, just maybe pencil scribbles. I like that. Let's see if we can't get one of our pens. I may have to use Stabilo. Let's see if that one that I had, that 6 or whatever, that says charcoal. I don't really know anything about these. It's not very dark. We may have to use our, this charcoal one is kind of, yeah, let's use this one. Okay. Let's just see how that works. All right, now, I think we've done another one. I'll show you eventually. Let's just see if we have a squirrel in here, in my file, that would fit right up in here. This is all I've got left. I've got this whole book, but I've got several of these pictures, and I don't want to use too many of the same book. I've already got one of that book. That's too little. That's a tag. Tag. Somebody gave me that. I want to use that. Somebody gave me that. I want to use that. I wish you guys, when you make me a tag, if you ever send me Happy Mail, put your name on the back and know that I am going to be clueless and lay it aside, and it's going to get lost and I'm not going to remember. What about this one with them in the squirrel feeder? And this could be coming down the side. There we go. That was easy, wasn't it? That was easy breezy. Okay, I am going to do just, are we taping? Yes. I'm going to do just a little bit fussy cutting here so we can see as much of that rose as we can. Just up to the bird feeder. I don't know that we want to. We'll see. Let's just fussy cut and see where it takes us. Yeah, we can do this. Now, this is the thing. Do I want that brown frame? I think I'm just going to leave it on there. And do I want this to come clear down, or do I want it to go right here like it's going behind the rose? Yeah, I'm going to do it just like that. And then I'm going to put this one down here. What do you think about that? Okay, and we just did a page accidentally. I meant to do a background, and we just went all out and did a page. And that's the way it happens. You don't come to the table with a plan. You just come to the table, and the plan happens. That is wise words from Birdie. Now, what did I say? Maybe we should make that our saying on here. You don't come to the table with a plan. Let's make that a Birdie quote right here at the bird feeder. Let's see here. Where can we put that? We can put it over here in a pocket or something. And we say, let's move this aside for a minute. You don't come to the table with a plan. You just come to the table. And then what did I say? You don't come to the table with a plan. You just come to the table. We'll say, and the plan unfolds. Okay, I'll do that nicer later when I'm actually, I just didn't want to forget. And you know what the fancy people do? They write down who the quote's from. Birdie. Okay, there you go. You guys heard it here. You heard it here right at Birdie's Nest. And we just did a page together, and I'm going to do some seed bead sewing around one of these flowers, and hopefully I can fix the part that I botched up before I had to turn my page off. Oh, that dog and its gas. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye from Birdie.